All right, good morning, everybody. Well, it's morning for me. Only on my second cup of coffee. But anyway, so this video right here is going to be about canning chicken and beef. So we do more chicken than beef. There's just so many more things we can do with it. Chicken, we do barbecue chicken pizzas. We do stir fry with it. We do like nachos, like fajita type nacho. Pretty much anything you can think of, we do it. Um, with the beef, not as much. I cut it up in about 2 inch size pieces so it shreds really easy when you take it out of the jar. And we do chip beef sandwiches. So that's a fun meal to have, just on the fly. We've also put the chip beef, uh, shredded beef, whatever you want to call it, on pizza also. In our opinion, once you cook it or heat it, it's already cooked, but once you heat it up and everything and you put the barbecue sauce, it really has the texture of brisket in our experience with it. Like I said, to each their own. That's usually the two things that we do with it. So anyway, let's get started. I'm gonna put some references in this video. Um, I use 2 or 3 different canning cookbooks they have great recipes. The Ball company has some great recipes in their canning cookbook or book. So, and some other references. I'm going to put some links in the description, or I'm going to attempt to. I'm still kind of new at this, so if I don't if I don't do it, it'll definitely be on the Facebook page. So anyway, sorry in advance. Anyway, all right, well, let's get started on this one and let's have some fun. This is a great trick for your cutting board. It keeps you from slipping and cutting yourself by accident. That has happened, unfortunately. So right here, we're just checking our lids to make sure that there's no rust spots or damage or anything like that. So these look pretty good. Some of them are stuck together. I had them in a Ziploc bag in storage, so I just wanted to double check them. I think I got them in a bulk deal or something. That's why I took them out of whatever it was and put them in Ziploc bags. It was just easier that way. Yeah, they look good. They look good. Remember, don't boil, just let simmer. And always sharpen your knife. A dull knife is a dangerous knife. So we got a roast here. I think this is a 3-pound roast. I had 2 of them. And so you see I'm sharpening my knife like a good girl. Go by example. Alright, I really want to make sure I get it sharp there, I guess. Taking my time. And always wipe it off. Even wash it and wipe it off. Don't use it straight onto the meat like that. So now we're going to cut up this roast, and we're going to do this in about 1 to 2 inch squares. It's not really anything you have to take a ruler to. We do ours in about 2-inch squares because most of the time we just do chipped beef with ours. So, but you can do bigger chunks and use it as sliced meat, like to slice like sliced roast beef. That's also a thing. I've never done it, but we don't really eat sliced beef. So here we are. Our cubes are all nice and cut up. Now I got this bag because you see all the fat on the cutting board. I'm going to render that down one day and make tallow, but I don't really have enough. I like to do it in a big batch. So for right now, it's going in the freezer. Ta-da! Look at me going, ta-da! Now we got some chicken. And just cutting the yucky parts off of the chicken. And typically we do the chicken in about the same amount, same size pieces, about 2 inches, give or take. And I think I wound up with 7 pounds of roast here and about 5 pounds of chicken cut up. And I'm doing chicken breast here. You can also do chicken legs. I have some chicken legs. I'd like to do a video because I've had them for 3 years now. What I was trying to say right there before I really interrupted myself was that I can chicken legs as well, and I am going to do a video to show you how to can whole chicken legs. So I'm also going to do a video, in the same video actually, I'm going to show you how to use chicken legs after taking them out of the can and how to cook them. Well, they're cooked, but you know, heat them through and eat them. All right, something to think about when you're canning is when you buy your jars, do not throw these away. These make excellent ways of transporting your jars to the shelves or just store them in here on your shelf. And it makes it easier to pull them out and put it back or move it or whatever you need to do. Instead of moving one jar at a time, you can just put them all in there, good to go. Oh, that's better. Still a little bit of a glare. It's just that time of day. So anyway, so last jar. So we're just putting the rest in there. Of course, use gloves if you want to. I'm not going to. I always keep one hand clean. Make sure I have all my chopping done. I actually just needed enough for one more jar because I've already done 2 batches already. And this is actually the last batch going in the canner. I'm using the weighted gauge canner today. I do have the canner that goes with the dial gauge. They sent me the wrong part that goes with this. I had the gauge, but they sent me a different part that went with it, and the other one was cracked. So I'm waiting on this. This is why I always have 2 of everything, because at least I can still can. And the thing that I love about the weighted gauge, it's simple. There's no real moving parts that are really going to break. So there's that. Anyway, so this is the last jar, and I cut up a little bit more because I don't like having an empty canner. I like it to be as full as I can possibly get it. I'm just going to stuff that in there, just like so. And now, I'm going to take this to the sink because I wash my hands. All right, now, so I'm done with packing all the raw meat. I like to put, depending on my mood, I've put barbecue seasoning in these before. It just depends on what you're using for. I'm just going to give a little dash of salt there. So make sure everything that you're going to do goes in the jar before you wipe the rims, because then you're just defeating the purpose of wiping the rim. So take a little bit of just distilled white vinegar again, and you're just going to go around. See how I'm going around on the inside and the outside? Hope you can see that. And that's just getting off any impurities that might be on there, you know, like something, the meat. That's why I use the funnel, because that's less mess you have to clean and everything. So there's that. Now, I'm going to take my magnet. Remember we talked about that? I'm going to lift my jar lid, excuse me. It's going on like so. And it's just another way. I know I wash my hands, but I like this too, because then you're not touching anything that's going on the inside. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, last ring on. And remember, you're not cranking it on there. You just want it tight enough where it stays, because you still need to give the lid some room. When the heat starts rising and the pressure starts building up right there, it lets all the air escape. So that's why. Now, I know I just put this on, but I wanted to show you something. So I don't put, it says not to put liquid in here because this is cold pack. So it's going to make its own liquid. Now that being said, I did forget to debubble. But basically, all it's really doing when it's dry like this is making sure you have it packed good enough, and you don't need to. Make sure it's full. You see what I'm saying? Because, you know, you don't want it. You want the headspace to be proper for. Let's go ahead and wipe it again, because I want to make sure. All right. One more piece. I already threw that paper towel away. So let's wipe it one more time. And again, you're going to wipe on the, you're going to kind of like cup it like so. And you're just going to go around the rim like this. Make sure. And I just did that again because I put something in there and moved around. Didn't want anything getting out. This is also a good chance to check and make sure your rims don't have any chips in them, which usually you do that when you pull the jar lid, out, because that gives you a chance to double check, make sure nothing happened between the time you pulled the jars out, whatever. So just another way of checking. Make sure. So that being said, this is a lid, so I'm not going to go through and do what I already showed you. So it's on there. Remember, just tight enough. And then it's not hot, so if you want to be careful, use the jar lifter, but it's not hot in the jar yet. So I'm going to bring you around here so I can show you how to put the lid on. All that, and I didn't have enough jars left anyway, so we're going to go with 5. If you want to get the pressure out faster, you can put a jar of water in there. Just pour some water in one of these jars, and so it takes up space. So that also works if you have to do that. I just try to make sure I have a full batch. But this is the last batch I'm doing today, so I didn't really have high hopes it was going to be a full batch. So anyway, so now what we're going to do is I got the burner. I'm about to turn the burner on. And if you look, you see that arrow right there? Okay. Now, it's probably hard to see, but there's an arrow right there as well. And just double check, make sure your gasket's in there, it's good. Make sure there's no blockages in the steam hole, I guess. Anyway, so Yeah, there's the arrow right there. So you want to match it up to that arrow right there. And then we twist. Sorry, that was a weird, obnoxious sound. So now it's on there. And we're just going to let it go. And we'll be back when the steam action is happening. That's what we want right there. Steady stream. The little thing right there is popped up. So we got 6:39. We're getting there. We're getting there. And so now we're going. So this is about the speed that you want your rocker to be going. Again, if it gets any crazier than that, that means your heat is too high. So just turn your heat down till it stays steady at that. Make sure this little pop-up valve back here is still up. That means that there's pressure. That means when this is up, means the pressure is in the canner. If you see this goes down, then that means you have no pressure in your canner and you're not doing nothing. So I'm going to set the timer. These are pipes. Whoops, too much. So I'm going to set the timer for 35 minutes and we'll be back. I guess it's time to turn that off. We're going to turn the heat off. Okay. And what we're going to do, we're going to just move it off the heat. Just like that. And we're going to let it sit there for a little while until the pressure releases. When this thing starts moving, and when you see the little pop-up valve in the back, when that drops, that's how you know it doesn't have pressure anymore. And that's how you know it's safe to open the lid. So I'll be back. Okay, so the little pressure valve in the back dropped. I don't hear anything, so we're going to take the lid off very carefully and get that in there. Okay, and we're taking that off, no problem. Looks good. So always wear mittens. Always wear mittens. Safety first. And then we're going to twist. And we're going to lift away from the face. So we're just going to go lift away. With all that steam. Go in the other direction because it's still hot. And there's that. Set that to the side real quick. And grab our little jar thing. Now something to remember, and I think I said it in another video, but I'm gonna try to remember to say it every time so that way we know. Okay. So when you lift, hold up, my nose itches. Why is it the only time your nose itches when you got your hands busy? You are going to lift straight up. Okay? Don't tilt it this way or that way because that can cause a fake seal because the juices from the jar will leak out, compromise the gasket that goes around to seal, and no bueno. So always lift straight up and see that? Beautiful. That is the last one. Last batch for this. So let me get the rest of these out and then I'm going to leave a couple links in the description of resources that I use and that are USDA approved, and I'll try to leave some other stuff on there. And that's it. That's it for the chicken and the beef. I think I already put some over there on the table over there. So 1, 2, 3, 13 pints of chicken and beef. Um, 9 things of chicken and 4 things of beef. Because we don't eat as much beef as we do the chicken. So anyway, thank y'all for sticking with me. I got another video that I'm going to be doing and then getting that in the canner. So still got a busy day ahead. Thank y'all. Thank you for watching.